You know, there's a joke, a cynical joke that says each parade is the same. You could roll in last year's parade and nobody would know the difference. And in fact, they do run last year's parade in the very, very, very early hours before we do our parade each year. And in the middle of running last year's parade and this year's parade is the pre-parade show, which until recently, was produced brilliantly by yours truly sitting in that chair, Joetta DeBella.
Thank you.
The pre-parade sets up the parade. That is that program for an hour where you learn the history of Pasadena and the parade and who the Tournament of Roses is. It's a very important part of that January 1st morning. I did the pre-parade one year for you. It was raining cats and dogs, of course, and it was a miserable experience, but it was one of the greatest experiences I had because I learned so much about the history of this tradition. As far as the great memories of the experience are concerned, though, I think it would be this. I hope it doesn't sound shallow. Our world is in such terrible pain, and on January 1st, it seems as though people all decide to be loving and to celebrate life together. I have to say it that way because it's so obvious. It is a visceral celebration of having another chance to start all over again. Bob and I very much feel that. We mention it to each other almost every year. It's a chance to start over again. And as superficial as that might be, it catches you in the gut. Secondly, then, and this is what I wish we could talk more about, the tremendous effort it takes to get there. These bands pay their own ways. They have pizza sales for years. Then they wait to see if the president of the tournament that year will select them, that band, to march in the parade. They don't know for sure. They start raising money years before they know whether or not they'll be invited. The horses are groomed all year. They're loved by their trainers and owners, their human companions. The horses feel it. The float designers are so gifted. The floral designers, if the weather turns bad, have to fly in new flowers from lower Ecuador overnight in order to make that float work. The tremendous efforts by people who just love that morning are very moving. Last story about this. Usually on January 1st, I drive home quietly by myself. Murray's often at the game, or he's squiring around my relatives from Minnesota, bless his heart. He gets up just as early as I do to get to the parade, but he gets none of the glory. So I'm driving home by myself, and I do a little grocery shopping quietly that afternoon because nobody's around in the afternoon of the 1st of January. I went into the supermarket one day several years ago, and the darling little box boy said to me, "I just came on duty. I've been watching your parade all day, and I think you were best on the third one." They rerun it, of course. I thanked him. You know, everybody's got a stake, whether they know what they're watching or not. And that is a very special place to share.